Cool. Okay, so let's get going. So, guys, thanks for coming along. And as I mentioned, I'll be sticking around afterwards. If you've got any questions for me, we can pop those in the chat. I'll be happy to stick around and answer any of those questions that you have. So, welcome. I've called this workshop or this webinar my 5-step game plan to sell your small business for $1 million payday. And if you're wondering who it's for, this is who it's for. If you're a solopreneur, a lot of people in this room will be tour and activity business owners. I run this workshop for a lot of different niches and industries as well, because the same principles apply. But if you're a solopreneur and you run a small business and you're an established operator, you deliver a really, really awesome service, great quality service with great reputation. And if you dream about building your business up to sell it, could be in the next 1 to 3 years, it could be even further, 5 to 10 years, then this workshop is for you. And what I'm going to do in the next 45 minutes, well, it's probably going to be a bit quicker than that, to be honest. I'm going to show you how you can quickly transform your small business into an irresistible, scalable, sale-ready asset, even if right now it kind of feels a bit overwhelming, the whole thought of it. It feels like right now everything relies on you, and without you around, your business would just fall apart. There just wouldn't be any business. If that's how it feels to you, then I'm going to show you how to work your way through those problems. I'm going to show you how to completely de-risk your business, how to eliminate all the unhealthy dependencies in your business that make it close to worthless. And I'm going to show you how you can quickly transform your business into a no-brainer, a gotta-have-it kind of business to an interested party or an investor. And just to address it straight up, some of you on this workshop will have no intention of ever selling your business, and some of you might have a 1 to 3 year exit plan. The reality is your pathway should effectively be the same, because no matter what your objective is down the line, every one of you should be wanting to build a scalable, saleable, highly profitable business that runs on autopilot, is under management in many respects, doesn't rely on you overly to be the driving force behind everything. And that is what is going to make your business scalable and saleable. But it's also, if you want to run your business for the next 20 years, it's going to make it less of a drain on you. It's going to make it more fun to run. It's going to make you more money, and it's going to make life simply better. So the end game is and the pathway to get there is very, very similar, no matter what your motivations or your ambitions are. So I'm also going to show you how to rapidly boost revenue, how to inflate profits, how to dramatically improve your bottom line without having to spend a lot, invest or spend more money in sales or marketing or recruiting or anything like that. I'm going to show you how to quickly surround yourself with a happier, more streamlined, more motivated, incentivized team. Even as I mentioned, if right now it kind of feels like everything would fall apart if you weren't around. So my big promise, I guess you could call it, is this. I'm going to show you step by step how to quickly 2 times or 3 times the value of your business, get it sale ready, and I'm going to show you what you need to do to actually take it the next step further and sell it for a life-changing payday, a 7-figure payday, very, very possibly. So before we get going and get into the good stuff, I just want to check in first of all and ask you a couple of questions. So is this something that sounds like you? Are you someone that dreams of scaling your business up and selling it one day soon, perhaps to fund the next phase of life? It could be retirement. It could be the next big goal or project you've got, but you just got no idea where to start. There's so much conflicting advice, and you kind of find the whole thing overwhelming. Does it eat away at you that although you might have spent years building a great business with a really solid reputation, you just can't quite figure how to scale it up so you can make more money, you can work less, and you can just fill your life doing more of the stuff you love? Does it really get to you that all of the kind of blood, sweat, and tears that you've poured into it are really disproportionate to the money you earn, and you just don't know how to change that? You've just been working so hard for so long for so little, and you kind of just don't know how to change it. No matter if you're having a great peak season, or you're just coasting, or you just never seem to find the money in your pocket to really reward yourself for all the hard work. Does it keep you up at night worrying that you might have to sacrifice those dreams that you've got of kind of like a life-changing payday that's going to, set you up in the future lifestyle that you feel you deserve, that you always thought was going to be funded by the sale of your business in a year or 2 from now? Do you feel like that might just be a dream that's unattainable? And the bottom line is, do you kind of feel sometimes that you're never going to have the wealth and the lifestyle that you deserve, considering how much hard work you put in and considering how highly skilled you are as a business owner, it's just, you're just not seeing the rewards for it. So if you see any of yourself in some of those questions, the good news I've got for you is those things aren't the problem. What I learned through my journey, those things aren't the problem. The real problem is that you haven't applied the 5 shifts that I'm going to share with you today. Because once you apply these 5 shifts I'm going to share with you, life gets really good really, really quickly. And what you're going to be able to do is quickly transform your small business into a really irresistible one, a scalable one that's sale ready, one that's more profitable, doing much better revenue. You'll be happier. Your team will be happier. They'll be more motivated, aligned, more incentivized, and they'll really live for your business. They'll love what they do, and you'll be able to smash targets that you set, which is probably very different to where you're at right now. Your business is going to be almost entirely de-risked, therefore it's going to skyrocket in value, and it's quickly going to become a gotta have it or a no-brainer for an interested buyer or investor down the line, whether it's in a year, 2, 5, or 10 years from now. And you'll know how to position your business. You'll know how to create enough competitive tension when you are starting to generate interest in your business, which is going to increase the value of offers and is going to therefore ultimately demand a sale price that's like 2 times or 3 times more than the actual market value of your business. And I'll show you how that looked in my business as well. So if you guys don't know me, who am I? Why the hell should you be listening to me this morning here? 2007, I started a day tour company down in Melbourne, Australia, and I was really, really clueless. I had no idea about business or tourism. I was flying blind, and I really, really struggled for some time to get some traction. And what I had was an overwhelming desire to succeed and an overwhelming desire to figure it out. And I left no stone unturned. And I did figure it out. And I learned not only how to grow my business to 7 figures and then to double it to multiple 7 figures in revenue, but I learned how to build a really great life for myself at the same time. And I learned a different set of skills, which is a completely different set of skills to growing a business, and that is how to pull off broker a deal, execute a sale for the kind of money that can change your life. I got well over $1 million for that business that I started with pocket change back in 2007. So I know a thing or two about growing a business, and I know a thing or two about selling a business, and that's what I'm going to share with you today. So these 5 shifts. So what I learned is that there are 5 key shifts that you need to make to rapidly scale your business and to set yourself up for life by potentially selling it down the line, whether it's in the short term, near term, or longer term, for life-changing money, double what it's actually worth, the market value. And I'm going to walk you through all 5 of them on this webinar. And how did I discover these 5 shifts? Well, it goes back to the time when I was trying to grow my business and I was doing a lot of trade shows and I was out there pounding pavement, networking, doing a lot of networking events and just getting in front of people and kind of not really knowing why. But in my journey doing trade shows and networking events, I met a lot of tour business owners and small business owners, but specifically tour business owners around my region of home state, home city, and around the country. And I kind of learned that they fell into 2 categories, and there were those that had or were having a lot of success, and they had scaled their operation up, and they had general managers and reservations teams, and they had fleets of vehicles, and they were doing really great money. And then there was others who were kind of like man with a van. They were just they were doing everything, wearing all the hats. They on the outside, seemingly, like we're having a great life and enjoy running their business. But when you dug a little deeper, there was frustration, there was overwhelm, there was exhaustion, and they were sort of frustrated that they weren't able to grow their business. And when I spoke to them, at length, it became clear that although they'd taken very different paths, they'd all started out as those guys, those one-man bands, those one-man, vehicle owners doing everything, wearing all the hats, running the tours, doing the operations, the vehicle maintenance. Some of them had been able to scale. Others just hadn't been able to do that and remained as they were. And the guys and the girls who had scale were living a really, really great life. And that just wasn't the case. And it became clear to me as I dug deeper that the ones that had succeeded had understood, identified, and had implemented these 5 shifts that I'm going to tell you about. So when I started implementing into my business, the results were staggering. And as I told you, I was quickly able to scale my business up from one that was doing $60,000, $70,000 a year. I was burnt out, overwhelmed, working too hard, doing everything, to a multi-7-figure tour business that really was running itself. I wasn't very I wasn't having to do a lot in it. I was only doing the things I loved. I was spending a lot of time over in my villa in Ibiza and throughout the year, and I was not on the tools, for want of a better way to describe it. I wasn't hands-on, wasn't involved in the day-to-day. My business was thriving. So, and it was because of these 5 shifts that I'm going to tell you about. So here they go. Here we go. Shift 1 is this. The first thing, and I've always, what I learned is that any level of success, if you want to succeed, I would say it's about 80 to 85% mindset and about 20% or less actual mechanics. And it starts here. Believing in your bones that you can actually do this. Starting right now, starting today. It is absolutely possible, no matter what type of tour or activity you're running in any corner of the world, you can have a very, very, very big level of success, and you can scale your business up. And if you dream of running a 7-figure business, if you dream of employing a team, if you dream of a business under management that is making you more money than you know what to do with, it is absolutely possible. And there are so many but questions. There are so many limiting beliefs, but that is the reality. It is possible for each and every one of you to scale your business up if you want to run a 7-figure business and to execute a sale of that business at a time in the future for the kind of money that's going to change your life forever. It is entirely possible for you to do it. It's 100% possible to transform your business into an irresistible, scalable, saleable operation that's worth a lot more than the actual market value. And that's even if right now you're not even turning a consistent profit, or you feel like everything relies on you. And that is something that, it does make your business close to worthless. Because let me tell you, if I can do it, then you can do it. When I started my business, I was absolutely clueless. Nobody taught me this stuff. I was overwhelmed, just like many of you are. I was fumbling around. I was, using that scattergun approach. Try a bit of that, didn't work. Try a bit of that, try a bit of that. It's not working. What do I do? What I just knew inside, I had this burning ambition that I wanted to one day scale my business up and to sell it and be rewarded with life-changing money for all that hard work. And then what I did was simply work backwards. I worked out every step I needed to take and every move I needed to make to achieve that goal. Because when I started it, I had no experience in business. I had no experience in tourism, appalling IT skills and admin skills. I didn't have any networks or support. I literally had a couple of bucks in the bank. After a couple of years, I was doing 60 grand a year in revenue. I was taking home 20. I was working way too hard. I had no plans or systems or visions. I didn't understand the fundamentals of business. I was just hustling, just getting up and just working my backside off and hoping that that a breakthrough would come. And I was doing literally everything. It felt like a nightmare to me. It really, really did feel like a nightmare. I wanted this luxury fleet of vehicles and this business I was proud of. That was the reality, a secondhand beaten up Toyota touring van. But what I did do is turn it around. And it wasn't long after that we were winning awards. We were scaling up. We were growing our team. We were growing our fleet of vehicles. We were doing well over $1 million in revenue. I had about 15 or 20 staff. I had management in place. The business was running on autopilot no matter where in the world I was. I was traveling widely. I was doing well over $2 million a year in revenue. And not only that, but as I told you, I was able to execute a really, really great deal. And I was able to sell that business that I started with pocket change for over $1 million. So let me tell, look, I've got a lot of examples of people who are having a lot of success. We've probably got a lot to cover, so I'm going to skip through some of those. So I guess what I want to say is that if I can do it with the limitations that I had, and there were so many of them, you can do it too. All right. It is absolutely possible for you to do it. So that was the first shift. The second shift was this one. Get out of your own way. What I see is the number one hurdle that anyone who wants to have a level of success, the hurdle that gets in their way is this, that they are getting in their own way. And I was guilty of this myself when I was scaling my business, and certainly in the early days. And it took a lot of fear, a lot of working on my mindset to navigate this and to overcome it. And I was guilty of these kind of thoughts. And I'm sure a lot of you will see a bit of yourself in these. Nobody can do things the way I can. My brand was built on the service I deliver. How can I entrust that to somebody else? It's just going to take too long to train someone, and it's just easier to do it myself. I can't afford to hire. It's just going to be cheaper to do it myself. I've worked so hard to build these relationships. I just can't entrust them to somebody else. Letting go, frankly, scares me. I think it's all going to come crashing down. I actually like wearing all the hats, and I just want to be across everything, which is something that I just dismiss. I don't think that that anyone can enjoy wearing 15 or 20 different hats, and you can't have a passion and enjoy and do things really, really well. And then, of course, there's the fear that if you do bring other people into your business, that things aren't going to be able to, what's the word I'm looking for? You're not going to be able to actually find the money to keep them on. So you fear that you're going to let people down. People are going to suffer. Families are going to suffer. So there's a whole range of things like that. And these are probably beliefs that you have yourself. So it is critical. Nothing is going to happen. You're never going to achieve a level of success that you're worthy of if you can't get out of your own way. So ask yourself, are you delivering all of the service, or some of, or most of? Do you manage most of the key relationships? Are you running most of, or a big proportion of the day-to-day operations? Are you developing new products? Are you the one that's directing staff? Are you the one that is responsible for driving sales? Are you doing the hiring, the firing? Are you delegating management? Is that something you're actually doing well, delegating management? Are you the primary contact person in your business all the time? Are you the one that's answering those emails at 10 o'clock at night and your wife's saying, look, can you get off your phone? You're lying in bed. Are you someone that shares sensitive company information with key staff? Are you sharing your company's financials? Are you responsible, and only you, for the strategic planning in your business? And do you handle the bills? Are you the one that's responsible for payroll or accounting? And if the answer is yes to these, then you need to really think about how you can flip it around and make the answer no, because these are the things that are going to mean you getting in your own way and hampering the growth of your business. So if that is you, you really need to ask yourself some poignant questions. Without you, is there a business? Would your business survive a change of ownership? And would it actually thrive under one? Because if the answer to that question, without you, is there a business? If the answer is no, and if the answer is no to that second question, then the truth is your business is close to worthless, okay? And that's if you are wanting to consider a sale at some point in the future. No one is going to pay you $1. You're not going to attract interest in your business. It is not saleable, and it's not worth anything if you're the driving force. And if it wouldn't survive a change of ownership, it's not worth anything. On the other side of that, if you don't ever want to sell your business, but you just want it to make more money, you want to have a better life, you want to do more of the stuff that you love, you want it to be more profitable, then you need to ask yourself exactly the same questions, okay? And if the answer is no, it's going to mean that those ambitions are off the table completely. So as long as the answer is no, as I told you, your business is going to be worthless. But on the flip side, if you can flip that around, and if you can systematically, one by one, address these, and I'm just going to scroll back to those for a second. If you can, and it doesn't mean overwhelm, it doesn't mean tackling all these things at one time, but if you can address these, I call them risks, and I'm going to talk about those in a little further in a second. These risks, one by one in your business, and to some level or in their entirety, if you can flip it around, and if you can empower someone, and if you can bring people into your team, if you can delegate these kind of things one by one, then it's gonna transform your business, and it's going to transform your life, and it's going to make your business entirely scalable, highly valuable, and the opportunities for you once that happens are many. I'm just gonna. I can't actually. I've put my annoyingly. I've put my thumbnail in the wrong spot, so you can barely see it. That's better. Let's go with that. So, to illustrate this, I just want to introduce you to Orlando Byrne. He's a really good buddy now, and he's someone who's been in our community working with me over the last couple of years. And Orlando was someone that came to me when he was running a business doing around $300,000 a year. He'd started with no experience. I saw a lot of myself in Orlando, and he was doing some good revenue. I mean, if to get to $300K a year, that's a serious business, and he was proud of what he'd achieved, but he was completely overwhelmed. He was running all the tours. He didn't have the ability to scale. He was maxed out of capacity. He was wearing all the hats. He was completely overwhelmed. He was feeling really lonely, that he had no one to share big ticket decisions with, and he was right in his own way. So by implementing these shifts and by really addressing and tackling specifically those questions that I just raised to you earlier, he was able to quickly transform his life and transform his business. And within 8 months, he was running a business that was doing well over 7 figures in revenue. He'd implemented a whole bunch of systems across the business that allowed him to scale, but he had empowered key people to get things done. He'd shifted a whole bunch of stuff off his plate. His business was no longer reliant on him. He was holidaying in his native Brazil in the middle of peak season, and his business was just going from strength to strength. And it started with his recognition that to succeed, he had to get out of his own way. And once he got out of his own way, things just went north really, really quickly. So that's shift 2. Shift 3 is this: use the secret weapon. And what I call the secret weapon is this, guys. I call it the simple sale generator. And what the simple sale generator is the most powerful, the fastest, the most inexpensive method that exists to transform a worthless business or close to worthless without scalable, value-boosting systems and full of risky dependencies. And I'll explain what I mean by that in a second, into an exciting, appealing, valuable operation that interested parties see as an absolute no-brainer and one that comes with a really serious price tag. So there's an old way and a new way. And what I see a lot of business owners that come to me implementing is what I call the old way. And that's what I would describe as business by brute force. It's kind of like a badge of honor, working 60-hour weeks, controlling everything. It's like a badge of honor, working, driving their business to the finish line, working their backside off to boost sales, and just working their fingers to the bone to get their business to a point where they think that it has enough value to maybe even consider a sale. And they've got other problems as well, because for so long they've been controlling everything. They've been keeping all the systems, or a lot of them are the key ones, in their head. And they've just been obsessed with sales and revenue alone without addressing other fundamental and key things in their business that boost value. But the simple sale generator is what I see as the new way. And it starts with a really simple 3-step process. The first part is your mindset. As I told you, I firmly believe, I'm convinced that outrageous success is about 80% or more mindset. It's about 20% or less actual mechanics. And if you get the first part right, you have won the battle. Okay, then you just need to implement. All right. So getting that mindset, believing in your bones that it's possible, that your business is worth something, that your business has the potential to be something special, that it's scalable, that you can that it has potential to diversify, that it can be resilient. I'm believing that, creating this crystal clear vision as to what the future looks like in the driver's seat of your business, whether it's you in it or whether it's someone else in it. So getting that mindset right, okay? That's the first step. And if you won that, you're one step along the journey. The second is scalable systems, non-negotiable, scalable systems and processes right across your business that give people the confidence that you will be able to deliver to scale. They'll be able to come in and grow on the hard work that you have put in, that there are places that this business can go and it's going to hold up as it goes through, and they'll be able to continue to deliver the promise. So the systems that you're implementing in your business, they add more value to your business right now than the sales and revenue you're doing. That's what I believe. So if you've got the right systems in place, then you are a massive step along on the journey. And then the third is to de-risk it. And what ultimately value is in a business is a reduction of risks. Okay, so a lot of businesses have risks. A big one is you as the business owner. Okay, another one is key source markets. Okay, where you're getting your business from. If you're over reliant on a key source market, it could be key customers. Okay, so they're risks. Other risks are the suppliers, the staff, and the customers. Are they locked in? Are there agreements? Are there contracts in place? There's a whole bunch of risks, and simply, if you can, one by one, becomes a mathematical formula. Identify the risks in your business, and then set about removing them one by one. That is what is going to make your business valuable. So those three things, those three steps combined, are the crux of the simple sale generator, because what they then lead to is a massive amount of interest in your business, and that massive amount of interest is going to lead to multiple offers. Multiple offers leads to a competitive environment. Competitive environment leads to an increase and a boost in those offers that you'd ultimately receive, and that's going to lead to a lot of cash. So that's what I call the simple sale generator, the secret weapon to building value, articulating the value, and then taking it a step further to one day soon, or in the, whether it be a year, 2 or 5 years, a big payday for the sale of your business. And just to illustrate that, I wanted to just show you this really quickly. This is an excerpt from the best appraisal I received for my business. And there was a really lengthy one. It was a very detailed one. You can see how it was appraised. Look at all those factors that were used to base the appraisal on. The age of the business, the growth, the financial reporting, database, the feeder agents, the strength of the industry, bang, 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 bang. All of these factors that were used to value my business. And then the last one there is the business's reliance on my current involvement. All those things combined led to an appraisal of somewhere between $600,000 and $690,000. So that's where it started. That wasn't good enough for me. I created this secret weapon, the simple sale generator, and I implemented the things that I thought were going to that I've just introduced to you. And by doing that, I was able to do something very, very different. I was able to get over $1 million for the sale of my business. And a lot of that was due to me implementing what I've just told you about. And remember, I'm not talking about sales and revenue. I'm talking about other things: mindset, systems, de-risking, building resilience, and multiple revenue streams, things like that. So that is what the simple sale generator did for me. It took an appraisal of my business of $600,000 to $690,000, turned it into a sale of over $1 million. And by doing the same thing, you can absolutely achieve the same kind of result. Shift 4, take off your blinkers, guys. So what I learned is that I everything I do, I'm all about injecting fun into it. Okay, so when I decided that I was going to take the next step, I built the value of my business. I built a great business. It was running on autopilot. It was making a lot of money. I then decided I wanted to turn my attention to selling it, and I wanted the process to be fun. So what I learned is that interest in your business is going to come from places that you never imagined. Okay, and that's the reality. Think about who's going to buy your business, and I promise you the interest will come from places all over the place that you never even dreamed of. So what I would suggest that everyone does is to discard conventional wisdom, discard what other people are telling you, get creative, because the trick for you when you take it that next step to marketing your business is to bring as many different parties along simultaneously to the point of offer to create maximum competitive tension, to get, one of the biggest, the biggest challenges that people get to getting a really great price for their business is they just get one offer or two offers. You know, they don't test the market. They don't create competitive tension. So if you can get a lot of people along, a lot of people excited along for the journey and simultaneously to the point of offer, it's going to drive the price of those offers up dramatically. And that is where the magic happens. So if you get it wrong, you know, you might end up with an offer, maybe even two. Most likely, it's going to be an offer that's under what you want and what you feel your business is worth. And you probably end up settling in desperation for an inferior offer, subpar, something you'll probably regret forever. Okay. And I see it happen so many times. And the alternative is to get multiple offers together. And to give you some context, I spent a month building out a buyer list. And my final buyer list that we direct marketed to ran to 194 potential buyers. You can see it there. That's just the last page of my spreadsheet there, all the way down to 194 potential buyers of my business. And interestingly, the ultimate buyers of my business were nestled down. I think there were about 135 on my list. I categorized them A, B, and C for strong potential, medium potential, low potential. And that ultimate buyer came from the B list down there at about 134. So, but the important thing is that through the sale process, I got 6 offers for my business that we got together almost simultaneously, which then drove the price of, you know, the competitive tension and drove the price of the ultimate offer up considerably. Shift 5, guys, invest in mentoring, because here's the truth. Preparing and selling a business is a totally unique skill that even the most accomplished entrepreneurs, I believe, are clueless about. And I learned it the hard way that building a business, selling a business couldn't be more different. And here's a few damning statistics for you. And this is what happens when a lot of people try to go this alone, scaling a business up alone without mentoring and support, and trying to pull off a sale, again, without mentoring and support. Because you need to be working on this 1 to 3 years at minimum before you actually, you know, pull the trigger, for want of a better way to describe it. In the USA today, 46% of business owners expect to sell in the next 10 years. Nearly half expect to sell. But of those, almost 80% have paid no attention or little attention to exit planning, which is kind of crazy. Amazingly, 70% of businesses in the USA who were listed for sale didn't sell. 70%. And of those, 75% who actually did sell. So of those small percentage that did sell, most of them profoundly regretted the sale within 12 months. And the reason for that is that they had to settle in desperation for an inferior offer, and they regretted it. It didn't justify, you know, it wasn't a reward for hard work. They felt insulted, but they felt desperate. They just wanted out, and they settled for an inferior offer, and they profoundly regretted it. So they're pretty frightening statistics, because there's a whole bunch of myths, things like these. I know who's going to buy my business. Businesses get sold off a spreadsheet. You know, it's simply a financial calculation that goes into the value of it. I know what my business is worth, and the price is the price. There's nobody better to sell it than me. And they're just all myths. They're wrong. There is so much you can do to rapidly inflate the value of your business. So what's the cost of not investing in mentoring? Well, the reality is someone in the business needs to have their foot on the gas. And the best person almost certainly to do that is going to be you. And here's a little information for you as well. My first attempt at selling my business was a disaster. I wasted about $7,000 on advertising. I spent about 3 months or about 100 hours I put into to prepare my business for sale. So if I put a value in my business, and I would say at the time I was about $100 an hour, it was about 10K that I lost. And not only that, but I had all these solid leads that I generated, and they just walked away because I just didn't know how to market my business properly. I worked with a terrible business broker my first time around. He didn't understand my business, didn't understand my market, my customers, and the whole thing was a disaster, and I wasted a hell of a lot of money. So the cost of not investing in mentoring, if you actually want to put a dollar value on it. So I eventually sold my business for well over $1 million. And as I just told you, that was around $300,000 to $400,000 more than the best valuation I received. So think about where I would have been if I hadn't got the mentoring and the support that I needed to go through this process. I probably would have been $300,000 to $400,000 worse off. And finally, in the USA today, 42% of deals fall over in the due diligence stage. So that means what I'm saying there is the time between accepting an offer to the time you exchange contracts, 42% will fall over. And I reckon in that point, me personally, I dropped about 50 grand. So I spent money on time, lost productivity, legal fees, agent fees, marketing of my business, all the stuff. And imagine if I had spent that 50K and the deal hadn't got to completion. Well, I just would have it would have gone up in smoke. So the value of getting the right support and mentoring through the process is absolutely invaluable. So guys, there are the 5 shifts. And if you can implement all of those 5, whether you want to sell your business in a year, 2 or 3 from now, or you just want to run it for the next 10 years and build what should be the biggest asset you'll ever own in your life, implement those 5 shifts and it's going to change your life. So today I promised to show you how to quickly transform your small business into an irresistible, scalable asset, how to completely de-risk it, eliminate unhealthy dependencies, how to inflate revenue, improve your bottom line, and how to quickly prime your business for sale and get a dream result that could be more than double the market value. And so here are the things that you need to win, just to really summarize. Eliminate those dependencies, implement those systems and processes right across your business that are going to make it scalable and valuable, remove all the risks and the risks that make it close to worthless. Create a really crystal vivid vision for what the future looks like in the driver's seat of your business. And to take it a step further, a plausible explanation as to why you're not the one to take your business there. To think outside the box about different types of owners and create a really thoughtful, creative target buyers list for your business, and to invest in mentoring to give you the support and the guidance that you need to achieve the results you want to achieve. And if you implement these shifts, it is enough to rapidly scale and to sell your business for possibly double the market value. So here's a choice for all of you. What you can do is take what you've learned from me today. You could forget all about it, put it in the nice to know category, or you could draw a line in the sand today. And from this day forward, you could focus your energies on transforming your small business into an irresistible, scalable, sale-ready asset. And what I want to talk to you about now is how I can actually help you do that. So what I've done, guys, is I've set aside some time over the next 48 hours to speak to you personally about how you can apply these 5 shifts to your business starting literally today. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I've been doing this for a lot of years, both as someone who's scaled a business to multiple 7 figures and someone who sold a business for double the market value, who got more than $1 million for the sale of your business. And a lot of you would see yourselves in where I was back in 2007. So it is entirely achievable for you to do the same. Whatever the biggest challenges you're facing, whatever those yeah, but questions are, I've seen them before. I know how to overcome them. So on this call, I'm going to work with you to create a step-by-step game plan to scale your business to as much as 7 figures, if that's your ambition, and a game plan that's going to enable you to sell it, maybe in the next 1 to 3 years, maybe in the next 5 years, for double the market value. And it's not going to cost you a thing. So, but there is a catch though, and here's the catch. You need to have an established business that generates consistent revenue. Obviously, it's been a tricky time if you're in tours and activities, but think back to pre-COVID and think about what the future looks over the next 1 to 2 years. If you've got an established business that does consistent revenue, if you're really proud of the business that you've built, and if you consider yourself to be a market leader and have a really steady stream of great reviews, if that's you, then I would suggest that you book a session now. I'd love the chance to have a chat with you. So Why am I doing it? You're probably asking, what's the catch? Well, here it is. The major reason is that I made the transition in my life from tour business owner to what I'm doing now, mentor, running coaching programs, creating online programs that help people to grow, scale their business and live better lives doing it. I love giving back. That's why I do what I do. I love helping business owners in just the place I once was achieve their goals. Plus, I know that you very possibly may want my help personally to transform your business into an irresistible asset, and you may want my help setting up for the next phase of your life. So if that's you, then we can discuss if it's a good fit for both of us. And if it's not you, that's absolutely fine as well. So what I'm going to suggest you do, and I'm going to just pop it in the chat there because I thought I had it, but you know what? I didn't. It's really, really simple, guys. If you go to scale-sell/apply. So that's scale-sell/apply. I'm actually going to see if that, I'll just put the URL in there. -sell. Whoops, sorry. That's pretty dumb. The .com would help. Scale-sell/apply. And that link is going to take you, yep, that's working. I've just checked it. That link is going to take you to my calendar. There's a whole bunch of appointments there in that calendar. Feel free to choose one. Grab one that fits your time zone. There should be more than enough for everyone. And book a call. Once you've booked that call, it's going to take you straight to a really short, unobtrusive application form. That application form is just going to allow me to learn a little bit more about you, the kind of revenue you're doing, the kind of market that you service, the kind of product or service that you deliver, just to make sure that we're going to be a really, really good fit. It's going to take you probably 3 or 4 minutes to complete that. And that's the process. So I'll read those applications, we'll book a call, and we'll go from there. So guys, that's the presentation. That's those 5 shifts. And I am now happy to stick around, answer any questions that any of you have got about that call, about some of the shifts that we've just talked about on this call, or about, frankly, anything to do with growing your business or your touring activity if you run tours and activities. So I'll keep an eye on the chat, and I'll just also kind of scroll through, see if there's any questions that came up about the workshop or anything at all. So yeah, let me know, guys. I'll be sticking around for a few minutes. If there's anything that I can specifically help you with, I'm here to help. And if there's not, then that's cool as well, and we will sign off. And yeah, there's the link that I've put in there, nice and clear, scale-sell.com/apply. That'll get you to that calendar of mine. So if there's any questions, then now's your chance. Chuck them in the chat. I'll be happy to help you out. I'll also just drop in my own personal email address here, and if there's anything that I can personally help you with, I would also love to do just that. hello@thesunshinetribe.com. If I can help you with anything, then by all means, have I got that right? thesunshinetribe.com. Yeah, by all means, then let me know, and I'd be happy to get an email from you. Happy to help you in any way that I can. And I can see there's a few people, well, it's quite a bunch of people still on the call. No questions, which leads me to believe 2 things. One is that I've literally answered every question, concern, or anything you ever wanted to know about scaling your business up to sell it on the workshop, which I kind of can't believe to be, totally true. But if it is, then fantastic. So Wendy says, thanks so much, Josh. Not quite there yet, but we'll keep watching emails from you in the future. Appreciate you doing this. Absolute pleasure, Wendy. Really nice to have you on the call. Hope you learned something. And I guess just to reiterate what I would say to all of you, these principles and these shifts apply to any to a business owner, specifically the first three of those shifts apply to a business owner, whether or not you just want to build a really scalable, really valuable asset that makes you more money than it ever has before and affords you a really, really great lifestyle, or you're actively looking to transition out of your business. These principles apply, and every one of you should, from this day forward, be viewing your business as an asset that you're looking to grow, that you're looking to one by one implement the building blocks to make it scalable, saleable, and valuable. That should be everyone's goal. So doesn't seem like there's much action in the chat, guys. So I'm going to sign off in just a second. And thanks very much to all of you for coming along. Really great to have you here. And yep, Lars, just I'll give you literally a couple of seconds. If there's anything at all I can help you with, I will be happy to do so. If not, I'm going to sign off and get on with my day. Thanks you, Josh, for this insightful presentation. My pleasure, Simona. Thank you, says Caroline. Mahalo, we're on the 1 to 3 year exit plan, so the presentation was helpful. Most helpful getting out of my own way. Awesome to hear that, Anne. So yeah, Anne, if that's you, book a call and I'll see if what I can do to help you. I'd love to hear from you. Yes, we actually, I'm working really closely with another operator in Maui, actually, who's on the same pathway. So yeah, cool. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off. Thanks for coming along. Kelvin says, thank you. My pleasure, Kelvin. Great to have you here as well. And yeah, you'll be hearing from me as you do. And hopefully you will continue to get some really good value out of my emails, my videos, and my workshops. Cool. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.